Some facial oils for hair growth. That is what we're going to talk about today. It's all about the hair today. Wash, deep condition, get rid of thinning hair, straightening that hair, fresh smelling hair. How are you all doing? It is Friday and we are here for a pop-up show. However, my topic of choice is hair because I've been getting a lot of requests to do videos for hair growth. So that's what we're going to do today. However, we're going to share oils that you can actually use in your hair to help to regrow those thinning hair and bald spot. How many of you have a protective hairstyle? If you're watching and you have protective hairstyle, go ahead and comment. I do have protective hairstyle. I wear my hair all natural, and I put something over it like a wig or something like that to protect my natural hair. Years ago, people used to straighten their hair like once a week. Hi, Han Crane. Oh my goodness. I really have to give you a shout out. I have not seen you for so long. And Crane is one of our OGs. When I say OGs, I mean OGs like Jill. That kind of OG I'm talking about. OG like Jason. Like OG like Margaret. Like OG that was Keisha. That was there like from day one. So I'm so happy to see you. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well and I hope everything is going great for you. Now, with that said, yes, question is, how many of you wear a protective hairstyle? Or if you do not wear a protective hairstyle, how many of you are into taking care of your hair? Like washing and shampooing and, doing those hair masks. Years ago, hair mask was the thing. People used to whip up some eggs. People used to whip up some good old castor oil, some aloe vera gel, and they used to put that steam cap on and just sit for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and all of that would have to grow the hair, help your hair to be shiny, help your hair to be glossy, and help your hair to just look healthy. I don't know if people still do that. However, it is always good to take care of your hair. Now, as some of us age, what we're starting to see is thinning hair. How many of you notice that your hair is getting thinner and thinner and thinner? If you notice that, then do not stress it because sometimes that comes with age. There are also other underlying issues that can cause your hair to start to get thin or actually cause your hair to fall out. There are things that you can do, things that you can use in your hair that actually works. The first thing, however, you need to know, just like the skin, you need to start with clean hair. Right? I'm laughing when I'm saying that. And the reason I'm laughing is because for me personally, and I think I shared this before, and I hope you all don't judge me for it, but I feel like my hair grows faster when I pay less attention to it. It is the truth. It is the truth. As I said, I do wear protective hairstyle, and I comb my hair out a few days ago. And my hair is actually thicker than when I used to process my hair, and that is the truth. My hair is really, 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 really thick. But I find when I just braid my hair, I leave it like that, I do not mess with it for a week or two, then it look healthy, and that also comes with some reasoning. And Claudia is at work, so is listening. Thank you for that. Shamki, Samkhe, welcome to the live. And we also have we have some new Lasozu, welcome back. We also have Jill is here. Hi, Jill. Amira is here. Hi, Cynthia. I'm thinking you're at work, Cynthia, watching, but welcome to the live. Now, if you're here for the oils, we're going to dive into that like ASAP. Before I dive into the oils, however, I want you all to take a look at what I have here. How many of you is familiar with garlic? If you're familiar with garlic, comment. I guess all of you should be familiar with garlic. I'm just assuming you're all familiar with garlic. Now, garlic is great for your hair growth, okay? Now, yes, we're going to talk about oil, but there's a reason why we're talking about the garlic first. Garlic is good for great regrowing your hair, good for thinning hair, good for bald spot, good for healthy, shiny looking hair. And why is that so? That is because garlic is rich in sulfur, and sulfur is good for your hair. Garlic is rich in sulfur, and sulfur is good for your hair. So you can actually make a hair oil at home using garlic. Okay, you do not want to take the fresh garlic, cut it open and rub it on your scalp, although it is very, very much good for the scalp. What you need to do with the garlic, you need to take a few cloves of the garlic. Sometimes I tend to call garlic pegs, but it's not peg, it's clove. This one is really, really tiny. And I love to eat garlic, okay? It's rich in antibacterial and antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory properties, right? So you take the clove of garlic, and what you do, you crush it, and then you chop it fine, or you can even throw it in the blender and you can blend it out and make it be creamy and nice. And then what you're gonna do, you are not gonna put it away. You are gonna just let it sit out, let hair, flow right through it, because the longer it stayed out to the in the environment, just open like that, it's the stronger it's gonna get. Now, what are we gonna do with that crushed garlic? We're gonna add some of these amazing oils that we're sharing here today to the garlic to make it even stronger to help to regrow those bald spots. So ferment the garlic. Yes, you can also ferment the garlic. So that is why we're featuring the garlic before we start sharing the oils. Now, all the oils we're sharing today can be mixed with the garlic, and also all the oils we're sharing today can use as a standalone, or you can mix any two or any three of these oils that we're going to share. Now, here is one more thing before we get into the oils. Not everyone can use a lot of oils in their hair. For some people, when you use oil in their hair, it make your hair looking limp. It just not looking amazing at all. However, if you really know how to use oil in your hair, you can get the best benefit, because you do not need to saturate the hair with the oils. You can actually just use a little bit of the oil and apply it on the scalp. Now, here is the trick, however. I started off talking about years ago when people used to steam their hair by using that steam cap, whether you have a hair dryer, yes or no, or shower cap, whichever one you have. You put it on your head and you let it steam, like you just let walk around with it, and it's going to get really warm and all of that. All of these oils that we're sharing today can do just that. When you apply any of these oils on your scalp or in your hair, roll it up in a bun if you have enough to roll up in a bun, or if not, just put a steam cap over it and walk around with it. And after about an hour or two, you can rinse it out. And this is for people who, when they apply oil to their hair, it get it all limp looking and looking like this. So that is what you do. So with that said, let me ask you all a question. You're all here watching. I know some of you are here watching because you just support the channel. You just come on regardless of what I have going on. You come on and you support the channel. But we have a few people who are actually here for the oils, right? And that is what we want. So if you're just tuning in, all we ask you to do is to give us a thumbs up, show some love to the channel by giving us a thumbs up. And don't forget, you can comment and you can share. And if there's an oil that you personally use in your hair and see results, also go ahead and share it with us in the comment section. Now, here's another thing I need you all to know. You have bald spot, and some people think that it's only men that get bald spot. But we ladies, we tend to get bald spot also, and thinning hair. What I was talking about earlier about people used to process their hair cream or iron, we call it pressing the hair. Why I mentioned that is because those are some of the factors that contribute to thinning hair along with getting older. Okay, the melanin in the root of the hair and all of that goes down just like collagen. All right, so if you are still ironing or pressing your hair, comment. I feel like most people don't do that anymore, but I might be a little off. Most people are wearing their natural hair, and they are either using a protective hairstyle by braiding it, covering it down, wearing a wig. But you have many other people out there that is still wearing their hair without process, or maybe process. So comment if you're still processing your hair, or if you know someone who is still processing hair. Roller girl, hi, missing you. Welcome back to the channel. All right, guys. So this is a hair oil that I personally make for myself. And some of the oils that I'm going to share today is actually in this hair oil. I also infuse this hair oil with the ginger, as I just talk about, you know, using the ginger. And ginger is also good for your nails. Don't forget that. Good for your nails, good for your cuticles. Now, this hair oil that I have here is great for people with thinning hair, bald spot, but here is the trick. The protective hairstyle that you're wearing, and you find that the side of your hair right here is just peeling out, edges they call it. This is another oil that you can use for the edges. So if you want the recipe for this one, you can actually send an email for it. I don't think I have it on the channel page, but this is my personal hair oil that I made at home for my hair, you know, and I only use this on my ear scalp. I do not use it on, you know, all over. I just put my hair in small portion and I apply it on the scalp, and then I massage it on the scalp. There's one ingredient that is in this that I don't have here, and it is biotin. And I actually bought the biotin, you know, I think I get it. I'll probably put a link to the biotin. So biotin is a great way to regrow your hair. We're not going to feature biotin today, but that is the only ingredient that is in here that I'm not going to talk about on the show today. But biotin for hair growth is amazing. All right, so now let's get into the oils that we are going to share. And okay, so clove oil right now is the challenge. Yes, clove oil is also good. And I think I featured the clove oil on my channel like years ago. Like years ago, I featured the clove oil for thinning hair. And most people didn't take note of that. However, for now, we're seeing people turning back to the clove oil, and not only for the hair, but also for your breath and all of that. Now, someone is sharing a recipe. Libby White, welcome. Nothing I've tried. I've grown my edges, whether natural remedies or prescription. I'm going to put this up really, really quick, guys, because I like these kind of comments, and I'm going to give you one word of advice. And you might think that this only goes for the skin, but this goes for the hair. Whatever it is that you're using right now, and if you know that it's out there that it do have to regrow the edges, my favorite oil for regrowing edges, to be honest, is the castor oil, because it works. But here is a trick, and it's not a trick, it's something that you all need to be doing. I talk about this all the time for the face. I'm encouraging people to do for the face, but did you know that you can actually do it for your hair? And this is gonna help along with your hair remedy that you're using, whether the P word, whether prescription or your natural sources. You need to start massaging the scalp. Yes, you need to start massaging the scalp. And listen up, this has been, especially in the Asian world, they massage the scalp a lot. And they have nice, healthy looking hair. But there's a reason why. When you massage the scalp, it encourages circulation. It encourages circulation. And with a circulation comes with circulation comes collagen, comes the natural growth of your hair. So guess what? Apply your remedies that you're using, and use your hands, or get one of those. I wish I brought mine here. Get one of those. They have some that is selling that you can use to massage the scalp, but your hand is the best bet. Just massage your scalp, massage those edges, and every time you put something there, you massage the edges, and that will help. I talk about this on my channel recently. When I was a kid growing up, they used to be like, oh, if you want to have long hair, guess what you do? And I think I spoke about this before. What they say you do, you bend over, you tilt your head down, you wait for a couple seconds, and you flip it back up, and your hair is going to grow. Sounds like something that they try to trick kids with, right? No, 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 no. I used to think so. After, like teenage years or so, I was like, those kind of crap they're telling children to do, talking about, oh, this is going to grow your hair. You bend over, you flip your hair back, and your hair is going to grow. There is some truth to that madness, right? There's some truth to that madness. And here is what the truth is. The truth is the rush of the B word. Sometimes when we come on here, we talk about this kind of thing, the system, sometimes think we're talking about medical stuff. So it's kind of, so that's why I just stop in my track and say the B word. So instead of me using the B word, which some of you could actually comment under, instead of me using the B word, I'm gonna use the word circulation, right? So when you bend over your head and you flip it up, it encourages circulation. The rush of that B word help with the circulation, and with that circulation, it means that your scalp is now ready for new hair growth. I'm trying to say the best way as I can, but see, I put the B word right there, which I didn't really want to say. So start to massage your scalp. Just like you massage your face, go ahead and massage your scalp. I want you to try this for 2 weeks. Try it for 2 weeks and see if you see any form of a growth. You do need 6 weeks to see some form of a hair growth, right? You do need at least 6 weeks, just like with the face. So definitely massage that scalp. Another thing you can do, and people, I don't know if you do this or if you're still doing this, comment and let me know. How many of you actually use a comb in your hair and scratch your scalp? Am I to say scratch or aggravate your scalp with it? How many of you still do that? I should have brought a comb here today. But you take that comb and you do it like this on your scalp. Okay, you do it like this on your scalp. Some people only do this when they have dandruff. Okay, some people only do this when their scalp is itching because their hair need washing. But did you know that that is actually boosting circulation? So go back to using your comb and scratching, itching, dragging through whatever you're calling it, your scalp. This will also encourage new hair growth. Now, with all of that out of the way, now let's start to focus on the oils. And I can see all of you putting the oils there that we already have here. So we have Rosemary Oil is great, and also I use rosemary and aloe vera spray for my hair, works wonder. And we have Kim also is saying, I heard rosemary water can help with hair growth. Is that true? And that is true. We're going to be having rosemary oil in our store, which is going to open by the end of August, somewhere there. And the reason I chose the rosemary oil also is for hair growth. I also have several recipes on my channel page. There are older recipes that you can, I'll attach them to the video when I'm done, showing you how to use the rosemary. You could boil it, not really boil, but steam that rosemary, and you can use that water to rinse your hair, spritz in your hair, leave it in your hair. So with that said, the fact that we are talking about the rosemary, and I also have the rosemary oil here. The rosemary is one oil that you can use in your hair. Now, why I personally like the rosemary oil is because you're not only, you can use the rosemary oil, but you can also use the fresh rosemary, and you can use that to infuse in any other oil that you have out there, like some olive oil or like some grapeseed oil, or so you can infuse that rosemary in it and use it in your hair. So rosemary also have antibacterial properties, making it great for hair with dandruff and also for itchy scalp. The rosemary oil can be used as a standalone. All you have to do is take that rosemary, and rosemary is the essential oils guy. And the essential oil, you need a carrier oil, but when it comes on to using essential oil in your hair, not all essential oil for your hair, you need a carrier oil. Some essential oil, like the rosemary oil, you can actually use it directly on the scalp. So you take that rosemary oil and you just, warm it up, use your fingers, it's better when you're using your hand to apply these. You can do it two ways. You can do it like this, and you can put it in, and yes, this is a wig, but I put oil in it too. But my natural hair on the there is well protected and well oiled. And then you just massage it on the scalp, or you can just pot it in small portion and rub it on the scalp like that. And when you're done, you go back in with your hands and you massage it on the scalp. The rosemary oil is good to use directly on the scalp and good for the edges. Mix rosemary oil with some clove oil and use it on your edges. It will help to regrow the bald spot. Not only that, another thing for rosemary oil is the end of your hair, split ends. If you find that you have people with longer hair and the ends are starting to look a little trashy and breaking and all of that, use that rosemary oil on it. Or you can choose to mix the rosemary oil with your garlic. Mix that rosemary oil with the garlic. Remember I tell you to just crush that garlic or blend it out, do something with it, pour it in a bowl, and you pour the oils that we're going to share on that garlic, which is going to give you a double whammy for taking care of your hair. So Lee, you're gorgeous lady. I'm excited like a kid that you addressed my issue with my edges. Thank you very much, and thank you for your comment. All right, so we're moving on. So the first oil was rosemary oil, and we were forced to start out with rosemary, but definitely try to get this rosemary oil. And if you do not have the rosemary oil, like I said, which is good, we're going to be having them in our shop very soon, so wait for it before you buy it. I'm making joke, guys, but no, it's truth about having it in our shop. But this is the oil that I use a lot. However, definitely try the rosemary oil with the garlic. And we have a recipe. We have about 3 recipes on the channel page using the rosemary. All right, so we are gonna move on. Let me take 2 questions, and then we're gonna move on to the next oil. Edges is an issue for protective style. Edges is an issue for protective style because sometimes some people use like glue around the edges, and when they pull that wig off or they pull the stocking cap off, there goes the edges. Also, you can lose your edges with your natural hair. How many of you used to do it well? Maybe still is pulling your hair back in a ponytail. Years ago, that was my go-to hairstyle. Like everywhere I'm going, my hair is in a ponytail because it's fast, it's easy, and it makes my face look younger. Yes, in case some of you don't know, when you wear your hair in a ponytail, it gives you a more youthful appearance because you have to pull your hair up like this, and you pull it up like this, and your face look younger. What some celebrities are even doing is using a tape, like a big old tape, and they would lift up their hair like here, pull their skin up and put that tape there, put their little wig or so over it, and then they would look like they just get a natural Botox or something like that, when in all fairness, they just pull their hair back or pull the skin next to the hairline back and looking beautiful. So with all of that kind of a thing that people is doing, what is really happening is that people edges are going to the south, right? People are losing their edges. So now you got to start going back to some of these old remedies to have to regrow those edges. One more question, and then we're going to move on to our second oil. All right, so rosemary seemed that like it was a very, very popular. How much are these magical oils? Well, the honest truth, these are not magical oils. These are simple oils, okay? What make these oils good for the scalp? It's because of the nutrients that is in these oils. The vitamins and minerals that is also great for your skin is also good for your hair. And that is what really happened. No magic, no trick, no nothing. And if you was to consider something to be magical, it probably would be the garlic. I was watching a video this morning and someone was yes, and I actually copied. Let me tell you what happened to me this morning. I was watching a video with someone doing some magical stuff, right? And I clip and paste, take a picture of the channel to send to someone to show them what this person was doing, because I was really, really laughing, and I was saying that this would make an interesting, what you call it when you not criticize, when you like, you know, when you watch somebody else's video and then you make another video on it and talking about what that other person is doing. So I was watching that, so I sent to someone to say, maybe this is something I could start doing on my channel. So the person was using some onions. Onions is good for your hair too. And why is onion good for your hair? Onion is good for your hair because it also contains that sulfur. And we do have some other videos that I made showing you how you could steam your hair with that onion, red onion over the white onion. That will help to regrow your hair. Anyway, so I kind of clip and paste, take that person channel, and I was posting something on Instagram, and I post something on Instagram, and normally when I post on Instagram, I don't go back and look, but something tell me, go and look what you just post. When I go back, the same person channel, I post it in my stories. So I had to hurry and just, go and delete it. But the reason why I'm talking about this is because it was featuring something that they're saying is magic, something I don't really believe in. Like, so why was I watching it? I was watching it because they were using onions, right? They were using onions. So I was like, oh my goodness. So it was very, very, very funny. So I might one day just go and review that, like review it, just, onions, what the onion could do. All right. So onions for your hair, you grate that onion, extract the juice, and I prefer the red onion. Extract that juice, put some castor oil in it, put some rosemary, crush that rosemary, or you can even boil the rosemary, or you can even boil the onion too, right? But don't over boil. So boil the rosemary and strain it off, strain it into this onion because you want to protect the sulfur with a little castor oil. Don't smell good, okay? It don't smell good. And this recipe with the onion that I'm sharing just now, guess what it is good for? How many of you used to have lice when you were a kid? It's still a big issue. It is still a big issue, okay? And this is not a joke now. It is still a big issue. And I'm going to tell you why it's a big issue. One of my fellow YouTubers basically do the same kind of video that I do, okay? Her daughter came down with, if she's watching, she's going to know I'm talking about her, but it's okay for me to say. Her daughter came down with lice. And she actually was asking me if there's a remedy that I could, for lice. And I did make that remedy and tell her to do it. And it did work, along with doing some other things. So lice is not a joke, okay? Especially if you have children going to school. And when we talk about lice don't respect no one, right? Lice don't respect skin color, okay? So everybody have lice, right? If you know what I mean when I say everyone have lice, regardless of where you live, regardless of your skin color, regardless of what color hair you have, you can get lice. Your children can get lice. So when you use like the rosemary, the fresh rosemary and that onion in your hair, and you use that warm head wrap, very, very warm, and wrap that here, it can also help to get rid of lice. Some of you are clicking off because you don't want me here to talk about the lice. The thing about people that I don't like sometimes people don't like to hear the truth. Sometimes people don't like to hear the truth if it's not pretty, if it's not fancy, if it don't look like, Yeah, so I'm talking about here, but I shouldn't talk about lice. Yes, we're going to talk about lice because lice is very, very common these days. If you don't have kids, you might not know that it's still out there, alive and well and kicking in kids' ear. But if you do, especially come September, between September and October, a lot of kids will come home with lice. All right, so we are moving on. That was just a free remedy for getting rid of lice. And if you're in the school business, teachers out there, hello teachers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Make sure you protect your hair when you go back to school September because lice is on the rise. All right, so we are moving on to our next oil. And since I've been talking about it with the onion, let's go for it. It's the castor oil. And why castor oil? Because it is one of the most popular oil for hair growth. Hands down, one of the most popular oil for hair growth. Now you can choose to use any castor oil, whether you're using the black castor oil, which is more popular, known for the Jamaican black castor oil, or you're using the white castor oil. This is one time that you can use either the black or you can use either the white. The black one go through a process, a heat process. The white one is cold pressed, no form of a heat. It doesn't matter, but the castor beans, which they made the castor oil from, is good for the hair. Here is what this is good for: dandruff, split end, bald spot, thinning hair, dull hair. What other hair you have over there? Gray hair, black hair, brown hair, short hair, long hair, kinky hair, nappy hair. You name the hair, okay? This one is good for it. And anywhere else you have hair, it's good for it too, right? So castor oil is known for hair health. Make your health healthy. However, it do not smell good at all. No, 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 no. Mm-mm-mm. That when you mix all this castor oil with that onion, it's a terrible smell. But if you use a good essential oil in it, like essential oil that I have right here, it's gonna actually cut down on that smell. You're just gonna apply it on your hair, leave it on for 30 minutes, wash it out, and then voila, go ahead and use something that smells a little better in your hair. All right, so the castor oil is a good oil for your hair. How do you use the castor oil for thinning hair? You can simple, and this is the truth, you can simple just dip in that castor oil like this, and you can simply just rub it on your scalp like that, directly on the scalp. Just rub it in a circular motion, just like you do it on your face. You just rub it, rub it, rub it, and then you massage that scalp with the castor oil. You can leave it on, tie your hair at night if you are using excess castor oil. Go to sleep with it, and you can rinse it out whenever you're ready to wash your hair. If you go OD on it, which most of the time, if you want good result, you really soak that scalp with that castor oil. And that is the one that you can also use that steam cap with, or you can tie your hair that night. And, especially do it on a weekend, do it a Friday night, wash your hair Sunday night, shake it out, silky smooth looking hair, and also hair growth. Biotin, that biotin I was talking about earlier, if you could get your hands on that biotin, you mix it with this castor oil. Especially you older ladies out there, if you want your hair to look really good, really shiny, and really healthy, mix this biotin with this castor oil, and it's going to help your hair to not only grow, but to look bouncy, just healthy looking. Castor oil is the trick. And here is the thing, guys. Remember I was talking about the garlic on top of the hour? Either onion or garlic with this castor oil. Either onion or garlic. These are like the fast result oils, okay? These are like the fast result oils. These are the oils that you're going to see hair growth in 6 weeks. And you're going to be like, ever since I started using that castor oil and garlic, my hair has been looking good. Yes, they do have the pills also, the biotin pills. You can actually crush it and soak it up with the castor oil and use that on your hair. How many of you know about keratin? If you know anything about keratin, well, most of you are going to know, because keratin is all have to do with your hair, right? Sulfur, keratin. Onion, sulfur, keratin. Garlic, sulfur, keratin. All right, so we are moving on, and if you have a question, we're going to take a question. Sadia, how are you? Welcome to our live. Karen, welcome back. Mary, Andy, T. Wildy, I messed that up. Welcome to our live show. Is the oil good for hair? Please, I don't know this oil. Now let me say it slowly. ALKHARWAA. Anyone know what that oil is? Comment. I don't know, so I will have to look that up, because I'm here to learn things. And if you're watching anywhere at all in this world that you are living, and you have an oil that you use in your country that might not be popular in other countries, go ahead and comment. That is something that some of us are not aware of, that we have other oils that are not necessarily a popular oil all around the world. So if you have an oil that you're using that we don't really mention much, or we don't talk about much, and you want to share it with us, that is good for hair growth, go ahead and comment on that. All right, so we are moving on. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and don't forget to share. So if you're just joining and you didn't give us a thumbs up, help us to get to 150 thumbs up right now by commenting. So start commenting, start giving us a thumbs up, guys. Go ahead and comment, and also do the thumbs up. Let me hear how many thumbs up you have. Now, before I get to the next oil, another thing I want to talk about really, really quick are some herbs apart from the rosemary that is good for your hair. You can use the rosemary and you can use sage. Sage is another amazing herb that you can use in your hair. And you can also choose to use basil or basil, wherever you live, depends on what you call it. Those are two more herbs that you can use. More so the sage over the basil, because they do contain antibacterial properties also. And the same thing you do, you crush it, that sage or that basil leaf, and then you infuse it with hot oil and you use it in your hair. That is natural as it gets. And you know, most of those hair products that you're going to see out there now, especially for your natural hair, these are some of the ingredients that you're going to find in these hair products. All right, so we are moving on. Is almond oil and vitamin E good for hair growth? All right, now, vitamin E across the board is good for everything, skin, hair, and nails, okay? When it comes to almond oil, I personally prefer to use almond oil on my skin, but almond oil is a very, 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 very popular oil for hair care. Two nuts, well, one is nuts, one is vegetable, that is very popular is the almond oil and the carrot oil. The carrot seed oil or the carrot oil is good for hair. Carrot seed oil, carrot oil is good for hair. So if you have an almond oil, any of those two, you can use it in your hair, or you can use any of those oils and mix with these oils that we're sharing today. How many of you have ever tried the carrot oil in your hair? Carrot oil is big. Like when it comes on to carrot oil, like there's all your hair oil that you're gonna find that don't have some form of a carrot oil in it. You can actually use that carrot oil and you can use that almond oil in your hair. Now let's talk about our next oil. And the next oil that I'm going to feature, most of you are aware of this oil. And it is the argan oil. And this is what it looks like, the argan oil. This is not a sponsored video. These are my own oil. Now, let's say about, I'm going to say about 10 years ago, right? About 10 years ago, not everyone could afford argan oil. Unless you live in somewhere in Morocco, no. Help me out, God. Unless you live somewhere in Spain. I was trying to find, I just have a brain freeze, okay? But it will come back. It's an M country that they grow a lot of argan oil. Unless you live somewhere like that where it's come dime a dozen, you can walk on the street and they would have it in boxes, in little bottles, selling, unless you live for cheap. Unless you live somewhere like that, but years ago, you couldn't really afford this oil. Morocco, thank you so much, Kim. Morocco, that's where I wanted to talk about. Morocco, that's where you go, you get argan oil, you go ride the camels and all that good stuff. Unless you live somewhere like that, you get this oil cheap. But this oil was so expensive once that if you buy it, it used to be like, you know, you're buying a luxury item. Nowadays, it's a little bit more friendlier, and thanks to Amazon, because now you can get to buy products from all over the world. So, tested, proven, try, still is, will always be good for your hair. You're going to find hair oil out there with this oil. You're going to find high-end product with the argan oil because it works on the scalp. It works to have the skin. So if I was to choose two oils that are the creme of the creme of the creme when it comes on to regrowing your hair, bald spot, and having healthier looking hair, it would be the Jamaican black castor oil or the castor oil and the argan oil. The argan oil also, you can use it standalone or you can mix it with other oils. If you want strong remedies for your hair, you mix these kind of a lighter oil with the heavier oil, argan oil and castor oil. These two, just pour them into something that have some garlic in it or some onions, and guess what? Use that to steam your hair. Help your hair to look healthy, shiny. How many of you have actually used the argan oil in your hair? And guess what, guys? This also comes with a really fancy pump. Look at that. Look how fancy this pump is. That is just to show you that these oils are amazing. I mean, expensive. That's what I want to say. All right, carrot oil is excellent. I use that for my son here. Works wonders. So that is another good oil, the carrot oil. And they now have the carrot seed butter. I used to use it on the channel here. The carrot seed butter is also good. So go ahead and use that argan oil, carrot oil, or that almond oil in your hair. All these oils, you can mix them together. Let me get a question and then we are gonna move on. Inga K, hi Inga K, welcome to the channel. And yes, the argan oil is from Morocco, and that is the reason why I was saying that unless you live there, where when you go to Morocco, when you walk the streets and all of that, people will have that oil like in baskets, in little bottles, selling for cheap, because it's in abundance there. And I was talking about the oil once, and one of my subscribers, and that is like the Marula, another oil, which is a Marula oil, not for your hair right now, even though it's good for your hair. And that's another oil that is kind of expensive, but when you go to the source of it, you know, it is so cheap. And somewhere in Africa, it is from, I don't remember which one of the country in Africa. So that's why I just leave it as Africa. All right, continent that is. All right, so let's move on. How can I do a show without talking about coconut oil? And guess what, guys? This is a good joke, okay? This is the best joke ever. Are you all ready for the joke? We have a joke today, guys. Are you all ready for the coconut oil joke? I'm sure some of you want this coconut oil joke. And if you're ready for the coconut oil joke, go ahead and give us a like. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up if you're ready for the coconut oil joke. And if you already thumbs up us, go ahead and comment joke, okay? Go ahead and comment joke because we have a good joke on the coconut oil. Are you ready for the joke with the coconut oil? If you're just joining, we're talking about oils, about 7 to 10 oils that is good for regrowing your bald spot, your edges, your thinning hair, and guess what? Your brows and your eyelashes too. How can I forget about that? All right, so some of you are ready for the joke. I'm not going to keep you all in suspense anymore because I have to go on with the rest of the show. But the joke is my coconut oil. This is the joke. All right, look at that. My coconut oil is done, guys. Like when I say it's done, I mean this is done. And this coconut oil, oh my goodness, I get a lot of use from it. And what I was doing, I get another big jug of coconut oil and I was refilling this bottle, but the bottle is done. The coconut oil is done. It's all done. So another coconut oil is on its way. Another coconut oil is on its way. The same one though, because you know the reason why this is not a free promotion. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't know. This is pick up in our local grocery store, not too far from the house. But this coconut oil, one of the reasons why I stopped using the other ones that I was using, like, you know, those white ones that I used to use in the jar and all of that, I started using this one because when I open it, and this is the truth, when I sniff this coconut oil, it smells just like my grandmother coconut oil. Just like my grandmother coconut oil. And if you use a little of this in your little food, it smells just like that. So I'm thinking that this is the closest I could get to having coconut oil that is like natural, like, you know, remind me, take me back home. That's why I use this coconut oil. But any coconut oil you have out there is good to go. As I said, see, I'm trying to cover up the label right now because it's not a sponsor video. But no, this is the coconut oil that I use. Don't know if you're going to find it where you are. I live in New York, and in New York here we get everything from everywhere. So yeah, and this one comes out of Guyana. So I just have to just walk down the 2 blocks from the house and grab one of these. So it's all done. So, however, not because my coconut oil is done, it doesn't mean that we can't talk about the coconut oil. It's a reason why I go through them so fast, because I use a lot of coconut oil. You can use coconut oil to regrow your brow. Here is the remedy thinning brow. Where is my castor oil? All right, here it is. Here is the remedy for thinning brows. Coconut oil and castor oil with a little bit of a garlic for your brows. Here is the remedy for thicker lashes. Coconut oil and castor oil, okay? Now here is the remedy for dry scalp. Coconut oil and any of these oil. I'm going to feature another oil really quick, and this is the essential oil, and this is the cedarwood oil, all right? Coconut oil and the cedarwood essential oil is amazing. This is actually the recipe that I made and I share with my male subscribers, especially if they send a little side email like what is good for the beard and all of that stuff. This is what I share with them. The cedarwood and the castor oil with the coconut oil. And if you do not want the strong castor oil scent, I let them use the cedarwood with any of this oil, because guess what? This have a manly fragrance. Did you all know that they put cedarwood in this is what I recommend for Jason too. Do you know that they put cedarwood in cologne and stuff like that to give it that manly scent? You know what, woodsy is the word for manly scent. I still like to say manly scent, but it's woodsy. And as a woman, I like woodsy perfume for myself, but a man with a woodsy cologne. So yes, the cedarwood. So the cedarwood, research it for yourself. Oil is good for regrowing bald spot, thickening your hair, and it is also good for the beard. And anywhere else you want to groom, the cedarwood will get the job done. Now, you can mix this essential, it's an essential oil. You can mix the cedarwood essential oil with the castor oil and the coconut oil for your hair. The cedarwood essential oil, the castor oil, and the coconut oil. And this one is mostly for my male subscribers. And this, on this channel, we have 86% females and 14, sometimes 15% male that watches our show. They complain that I stopped making videos for them, but I promise I'm going to start back making some of those videos. So most of the time, if it's something to do with hair for male, is always bald spot and beard oil. All right, so if you're a male watching, you're new to my channel, we do have some videos. I'm going to make, I think I do have a playlist where you can find those videos for grooming the beard and grooming and, getting that bald spot taken care of. And we also have remedies for when you shave all of that hair off, because you don't want that bald spot to be too obvious anymore. We have the oil for you where you just go and rub that scalp and make it look all shine and nice. All right, so we are moving on. If you're just joining, we're sharing oils that is good for regrowing that bald spot, thinning hair, dry hair, dandruff, split end, you name it, all of these oils can do. What oil did we feature already? We feature the rosemary oil, which is very, very popular, the argan oil. We also did the castor oil. We also talked about just now the cedar oil. And what am I missing? The coconut oil. Now, coconut oil, you can use it as a base for all of these oils, okay? So you can take like a tablespoon of coconut oil. You can add any of these oils or all of these oils, mix it up, and you get a perfect hair oil for growing your hair. Bald spot, edges, you name it. As we said on the top of the hour, if you are trying to regrow your hair, getting rid of thin hair, you also need to massage that scalp. Massaging your hair will help with circulation. Now, I have 2 more oils to go. And first one is peppermint oil. A lot of us use the peppermint oil when we're going to take a shower. I personally like the scent of the peppermint oil when, I'm going to take a shower. 2 oils that I like in my shower is eucalyptus and peppermint, okay? Eucalyptus and peppermint. And I honestly, and my peppermint oil is almost out also. And the reason how I use the peppermint oil, I just like to sometimes put it in that what we call those little things that we that hair purifier, not the hair purifier, but one of those things that steam up and give that nice fragrance. I like it, and I sometimes just splash the peppermint oil in my shower, turn it on, hot water, steam, and it's feel good. But did you know that the peppermint oil is also good for regrowing your hair when you mix it with the other oil. You mix the peppermint oil with the castor oil. You mix the peppermint oil with the argan oil. You mix that peppermint oil with the cedarwood oil. You mix the peppermint oil with the rosemary oil, and you use it in your hair. On the top of the hour, I was talking about, getting rid of lice from your hair. This is also good to use with the other ingredients to get rosemary when you're trying to get rid of lice. But split and itchy scalp. Itchy scalp. How many of you have itchy scalp? The peppermint. Now, when it comes on to the peppermint oil, when you're using it in your hair, I do not suggest you use it directly. I suggest you use it with a carrier oil. And that is why I was telling you to use it with the argan oil, the castor oil, the coconut oil, and any of these oils, you use that peppermint oil. All right? Very, very good with the mixture. And guess what? The peppermint oil with the garlic is also good with a carrier oil like the coconut oil. Another oil, I want to have question and answer. So I'm going to race through the final oil. And the final oil is another essential oil. And this one is the tea tree oil. We're looking for 30 more thumbs up, guys. So go ahead and give us about 30 more thumbs up. Next oil, final oil, is the tea tree oil. And I know some of you might be like, oh my goodness, we use tea tree oils for everything. Yes, the tea tree oil is like Windex, right? Tea tree oil is like Windex. You can use tea tree oil for everything. And that is because it has antibacterial, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory properties. And the reason tea tree oil is good for the scalp also is because we tend to get dandruff. We get this all that kind of itching and all that stuff going on, but it helps with circulation. So the smell, how many of you watching actually like the smell of tea tree oil? Be honest. I just want to see something. How many of you actually watching right now that like the smell of tea tree oil? So when you open that tea tree oil and you sniff it like that, how many of you like how it smells? Some of you are going to say yes. And the reason why some of you are going to say yes is because if you're like someone that like the whole spa fragrance, like, when you walk into a spa, most of the time when you walk into a spa, what you really smell is tea tree oil, believe it or not. You smell a mix of tea tree oil and lavender oil and something like that. I don't like to smell the tea tree oil directly like that. I don't know why. I just don't like the smell of it. But when I walk in the spa and then mix it with other oil, and you smell it like that, I like it. So with that said, what I'm saying, if you do not like the smell of tea tree oil, mix it with some other oils, like a little bit of the peppermint oil and some coconut oil, and use it on that scalp. It's a very, very good oil to have to regrow and to add to other things. And if you have itchy scalp, dry scalp, that scalp that you feel like you want to just, the tea tree oil will help with that a lot. All right, see, I know some people was going to say that they love it because some people really just love the smell of tea tree oil. It gives them that spa-like effect. I just don't like the smell of it. I don't like. I use it though because it's good. All right, yes. And look, this is like a 4-ounce bottle, and mine is already half. And I go through these like, woo, because I do. When something is good, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna deal with the fragrance. I'm gonna put a little bit of a lavender essential oil in it, and I am gonna use it because it is good to use, and it's good to have in your home. It's good to have in your home because it's good for other things too. And we won't say it in this because, but it's good for a lot of other things. So those are some of the oils. If you're just joining, we have 7 oils. Yes, guys, we know it's about 15 we talk about. Those 7 amazing oils that you can use for the bald spot, the edges, the brows, the lashes, and whereas the split ends, the thinning ears. And let's take it from the top. The first one was the rosemary oil. The second one, let me make sure this thing is, whoops. Oh my goodness. Look at this, guys. And this is really something else. I think this is how warm the time is or what. Remember I was talking about how fancy that the argan oil was? No, I will have to get another cover for this or pour it somewhere else. And I just lost my my thingy in here. Isn't that something else? Look how nice this dropper is. The dropper is falling apart. Anyway, I gotta get a cover. Oh, I think, all right, I'll get a cover for it because I'm not gonna lose this. All right, so that's another oil that we just, where's my garbage man? We don't have it right here. That's another oil that we just feature. We talk about the tea tree oil just now, and I'm checking my dropper. I like an oil with a dropper, okay? And that is the truth. And I also buy my droppers, like I would buy like a dozen dropper, just in case I get an oil that don't have a dropper. I am just obsessed with using a dropper with my oils. Don't know why. I just, you know, the little, by right, the dropper is, how many of you know that a dropper is supposed to have, it's supposed to be a measurement? And it's a real good dropper. Let me enlighten you something about a dropper. Hear me talking about dropper, well, we should be talking about oils. A good dropper is supposed to have the measurement on it, like a half a teaspoon, a quarter teaspoon. They don't do those things anymore. They just make droppers like that. You wing it out for yourself and figure it out. However, I like the old-time droppers that have the measurement on it. All right, so what did we miss? What did you miss? If you're just joining, Castor Oil, good for your hair. Peppermint oil, good for the hair. Cedarwood oil, good for the hair. Rosemary oil, good for the hair. Argan oil without the dropper, good for the hair. We also have, I said tea tree oil. We also have coconut oil. Now, they also have, and don't forget the garlic. If you're just joining, we talk about garlic. Now, let me take some question really quick. That's why I'm just rushing, because I want to go to the question. And guys, this is my hair oil that I have here. It do have garlic in it, and it have almost all of these oils. There's only one essential oil that I have in this one, and that is the peppermint oil. I did not use the cedarwood, nor did I use the tea tree oil in this, but you can choose to use one essential oil. And the base of this is coconut oil. So the base is coconut oil with rosemary oil, argan oil, the garlic, which we strain off, and I also have the good old castor oil in it. And that's why it have that color, because we had the castor oil to it. You can make your own ear oil. And here's the trick to this, and this is the truth. If you're someone out there that have to have that strong grease in your hair, and some of you guys that look like me know what I'm talking about, you make this oil, and you get, yes, I'm going to say it, and you get the petroleum jelly. You pour the petroleum jelly in a little container. You melt that petroleum jelly. When you melt the petroleum jelly, you dump this oil in the petroleum jelly. You mix it up. You put it back in the bottle, and there you get an amazing ear oil that is rich in all these oils plus garlic. Okay, so that's how you do it. And some of you might go and buy the castor oil, the ear oil, the petroleum jelly with the castor oil. I personally buy it already. You have another company that do sell it, but that's how you make it for yourself. You add more things. And guess what you can also do? You can also use that rosemary oil and the garlic and the castor oil, mix it up, pour it in that petroleum jelly, whip it up in there, seal it back. It's good to go. Good for you. Good for locks, yes. Good for the twist, what they call it, that short twist here. I'm old school. I call it Rasta. Well, you know, we say Rasta, but it's really, that's not the culture. But it is dreadlocks. Nowadays is flat twist. Help me out with the different kind of twists, or whatever kind of twist you wear. China bump, you know, whatever that is. My hair is China bump on the hair right now. But anyway, let's continue. And that is the truth. I think I even have the picture where I China bump my hair this week, because I just like how it look, and it look really nice. Now I'm going to show it to you. But probably Sunday, I'll come out with my natural hair again. Just show off how much some of these oils has actually helped my real hair to grow, right? Anyway, so let's take some questions, and then we are out of here. Sable, I wouldn't use it oil if I have oily scalp. You're probably producing too much of your own natural sebum. So who is asking about oily scalp? Now, for oily scalp, here is what you use, and this is the truth now. For oily scalp, you're going to reach for the tea tree oil, and you're going to reach for the peppermint oil. Now, to say that if you use oil on your oily scalp, I don't know what the question is, but when your face or your hair or wherever on your body is producing excess oil, you still can use oil on it. Because when you use oil, it tricks the body, the skin, the scalp to think that you already have enough oil, and it slows down that oil process. What you don't need, however, is a heavy oil. You need a very light oil, a very thin oil. You wash your hair and you can put a little oil on the scalp. And you can use the peppermint oil or the tea tree oil. Those are two oils that you can use on it. And you can mix that two oils with any other light oil like even the grapeseed oil, very, very light oil. You can use it on your skin. Do not over oil. Massage your scalp, a little bit of the oil, massage the scalp and see what happens next. All right, if you have another oil that you use that we didn't feature today, go ahead and share with it. And Jake, don't use tea tree oil. Ilma, is it okay to use neem oil in here? Yes, 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 yes. And you know something, honestly, I have the neem oil. I do have the neem oil. I don't know why. I think I might have featured neem oil in here once. But I have my favorite place that I go to in Queens, and they have all these amazing oils from all different countries. And when I go there, I get a little carried away and I want to buy all these oils. But I do have the neem oil, and that's another oil. Depending on where you live, you might be able to get it for cheap, cheap, cheap. And some place you might have to pay a little extra for it. But go ahead and use up that neem oil. All right, so we are moving on. And I'm thinking I had actually bought that neem oil for something else. And I'm going to try to remember what else I bought it for. Are these oils good for hair baldness? I love tea tree oil. All these oils that we're sharing is for bald spot, thinning hair, dry scalp, split end, edges gone, eyelashes. All these oils are oils that you have mixed together, or you can use them standalone. Beard, all these oils can help with that. However, remember that everything works on clean skin. So make sure to wash your hair at least, depending on you. Some people wash their hair every day. Kudos to you. Some people wash once a week, which is how I was raised, and that is the truth. I was raised where we wash our hair once per week, and some people wash their hair once a month. However, whenever you wash your hair, just remember to use some of these oils if you're looking to regrow your hair, looking to get rid of thinning hair, looking for a healthy, shiny, bouncy looking hair, along with massaging your scalp. That's my time today, guys. If you did not, hi Hazel, if you did not give us a thumbs up as yet, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Have a great week, guys. I might be on tomorrow night. Tomorrow is Saturday night, and I have nowhere to go, so I prefer to spend it with you guys anyway. So I might be back on tomorrow night with another live. This is going to be about 7 though, about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Show some love on the video we post this morning. Go on my channel page. When you're done watching this, go straight over and watch the video I post this morning. A very good video, and if you missed the video lineup that we post this week, go and watch 1 or 2. Give us a like, and don't forget to share. And don't forget to watch the videos to the end. Thank you all for joining. Have a great weekend, guys. If it's one thing that you do for yourself this weekend, give yourself a facial. Whether you're going to do a facial mask or a facial scrub, or you're just going to steam your face and sit back and relax with 2 cucumber slices covering your eyes, just take care of yourself. Love yourself, be good to yourself, and I see you in my next